Another common fear is mathematics. I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do in order to be able to solve a three-dimensional spatial reasoning problem. But we're going to use magic rather than mathematics to solve this problem. So there's nothing to fear in magic except that something disastrous might go wrong because we don't understand why. This three-dimensional spatial reasoning problem actually has a physical form. That's important because I'm supposed to give a demonstration today. You might be familiar with it. Its inventor, Enro Rubik from Hungary, invented it in 1974. He was an interior design instructor, and he wanted to illustrate to his students some aspects of three dimensions. Today, I'm going to arm you with enough information so that if you want to learn to solve the Rubik's Cube, you'll be able to. First, I'm going to orient you on the cube, and then we're going to establish a little description of how pieces are moved on the cubes, and talk about the 5 major stages for solving the Rubik's Cube. I'll demonstrate one of those stages, which will illustrate how much effort it takes to learn each of the stages. And then you can make your own assessment on whether you'd like to invest the time and effort in it. So this is a cube. It's actually from China. It's not a official Rubik's Cube. There is an official Rubik's Cube. This is a 3x3 cube. A cube has 6 faces. In the solved configuration, each face is a different color. Because this cube is 3x3, each face has 9 pieces, but each face shares 8 of those pieces with another face. There are actually 3 types of pieces. There are center pieces, there are corner pieces, and there are edge pieces. And because this is a cube, there are 6 center pieces, there are 8 corner pieces, and there are 12 edge pieces. Each piece has a unique color configuration. The center pieces, which don't really move from their face, are each a different color. And they come in pairs. Red pairs with orange, white with yellow, and blue with green. Now the edges are just where the faces intersect with one another. And so there are 2 colors on each face, and those opposing colors do not share a common face, so there's no edge piece that is, for example, yellow and white. Finally, there's a corner piece, and the 8 corner pieces occur where 3 of the faces intersect. Now, the cube is not immobile. It moves. We can turn any given face 90 degrees clockwise or 90 degrees counterclockwise. And we call that a move. And this is how we move the pieces on the cube. Since there are 6 faces, there are 6 ways that you can move it clockwise, and 6 ways you can move it counterclockwise. So it should be trivial to solve this, right? If it gets mixed up, you can put it right back together. There are only 42 quintillion different ways that you can arrange these faces. That's about 7 billion for every man, woman, and child on Earth. And if you could move a move every second, and people can make a move much faster than that, the life of the universe would not quite be sufficient to explore all the configurations. However, through the aid of magic, we can actually solve the cube. So I've given you a little orientation on the cube. We need a little nomenclature in order to describe the moves. So we're going to talk about the cube this way: up, down, right, left, front, back. You notice this is all relative to me. Up, down, right, left, front, back. This is not the front. Furthermore, when I make a turn clockwise on the front, we'll call that front. And counterclockwise we'll call front inverse, or F inverse. So I don't expect you to remember that.
Thank you.
I have a handy guide for you to help you. Right, left, up, down, front, back. We can all keep track of that, right? And here's a little guide for those moves. So, for example, if I do right, like this, right. If I want to restore this, right inverse restores it. So now you're armed with some nomenclature on what the moves are like. Let me tell you about how we go about solving the Rubik's Cube in 5 stages. Stage 1, we develop a white cross. Notice that the colors on the edges also match the center. In stage 2, we put the white corners in the right place. In stage 3, we get the center layer, the middle layer, in the correct order. You notice the cube is flipped over now because we're going to work on the top. We establish a yellow cross. We don't care if the edges match yet, because when we get the yellow corners in place, magically, the cube is solved. That's great, right? 5 stages. The problem is they get increasingly more complex. And so I'm going to take you through one of the simpler stages. Now this cube's solved, so it's no good to me. But I have a cube that has that magic white cross already on it. Notice the orange and the green, the red and the blue line up. And here's all the magic you need to know. R inverse, D inverse, R, D. Okay, repeat after me.
R inverse, D inverse, R, D.
So I pick a corner like, let's say, red, white, and blue. I find the red, white, and blue corresponding corner, put it below its target. So I want to go from here to here. I want to get this red, white, and blue up to here. Once I get the target below its corner, R inverse, D inverse, R, D. If we're not there yet, we do it again. R inverse, D inverse, R, D. If we're not there, we just keep going. R inverse, D inverse, R, D. Now this isn't the smartest way to solve it. R inverse, D inverse, R, D. But eventually we get there. And if you mess up and you're not really getting there, you say, well, where'd my red blue corner go? I'll put it back in its place. I lost it. Oh, you can always go to another one. So like orange, white, and green. Is there an orange, white, and green one somewhere? Ah. Here it is. It's in the wrong place too. I don't like that, so I'll go to blue and orange. Do I have a blue, white, and orange? Ah, there it is. R inverse, D inverse, R, D. We just keep going with the magic. R inverse, D inverse, R, D, R inverse, D inverse, R. And look, we solved one corner. Do that 4 times, and you'll have solved stage 2. That is how you solve the Rubik's Cube. Every stage gets more complex. You have to remember more incantations, but it can be done. And I have a handy-dandy guide here that will teach you how. Thank you.